terrible person treating women that way. I would never do that. Never. You guys want to hear about how I lost my virginity? You guys all from Everett?
No.
Well, fuck you people that aren't. You guys know a little restaurant called Alfie's Pizza? The one near Silver Lake. You know that one? It is still there. Oh, I know where it is. I worked there. It's a busser. Guy that washed dishes. Had a white shirt. A little Italian guy on it. I had a thing, apron. Didn't get in the way. They had a bathroom in the back just for us, people that work there. Yeah. And there was a slut. So, I mean, that's all I needed. That's my life right there. I got paid to fuck for the first time. It was $4.90 an hour. But I was a gigolo. Now I'm in charge of the upbringing of 4 children. Little has changed since then. I'm just not smarter. Let's bring up our next comic. He's a local guy. He comes in here all the time. Came in here tonight because it's Tuesday. And, you know, he doesn't have a fucking job, so whatever the fuck. He doesn't care. Everybody please put your hands together for the very funny Justin George.
How are you guys doing tonight? So, the other day, I was smoking a bowl in my backyard. It was at 5 in the morning. I got up and I'm like, why the fuck am I up at 5 in the morning? So I smoked a bowl to go back to bed. My neighbor had an ornament or something on their house that looked like they were recording me from their door. Like they had their phone out of the crack of a door or something recording. So I pulled out my phone, I stopped smoking, and I pulled out my phone and started recording back for about 20 minutes. And I'm like, damn, these people are persistent. I have some crazy ass neighbors that'll do that shit. Like they're like, I don't live in a very good part of Everett. I got tweakers everywhere in my neighborhood, so I don't know what they're doing. So then I went back and looked at the footage and I realized it was just an ornament that was hanging up that entire time, and I was recording 20 minutes of that ornament. And then I'm like, man, did I really need to smoke that bowl? How many of you have been to the Everett Library? Okay, this is the last time I was at the Everett Library, 7 years ago. I was at the library and I went there with one of my friends, and I stayed the night at his house and I brought a fake BB gun with me, and we were shooting it off at his house, emptied all the clips, and I went to bed with it in my pocket. I didn't realize I brought it with me to the library, but my friend did. And he decided to tell the librarian that I brought a gun with me to the library. So I was sitting at the computer, and about, I want to say 20 minutes later, this light kept catching my eye, and I had headphones on and was blasting music, so I couldn't hear anything. And I took one headphone out, and all I heard was, "Make no attempt to reach for the weapon." And I immediately, when I looked over at them, my first thought was, holy shit, the library's getting robbed. All I saw were people with guns charging in. What else are you gonna think? Then I realized, so did they. This is a very awkward situation for all involved. They handcuffed me and they questioned me. They realized that the BB gun was a BB gun. There's no clips in it and the clips were empty, so they let me go. But then they said these words, "We have to call your mom." I lived in Marysville and my mom worked at the casino, and she worked late hours and did not get up till 10 in the morning. This was at 9 o'clock in the morning on her day off. So they take my phone and call her from my phone. They answer, and all they say, or she answers, and all they say is, "This is so-and-so with the Everett SWAT. You need to come pick up your son from the library." I'm sure my mom's first thought was, what the fuck could you do at the library at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning that would command a SWAT presence? So my mom gets there, and I guess the SWAT commander saw the same look of death in her eyes that I saw, because he went rushing over to her. I had never seen somebody with so much armor and a gun run so fast. And he had to explain to her the situation and let her know that, everything was cool and that I wasn't in any trouble. But just that look in her eyes enough, ever since then I've never gotten in trouble with the cops. And I don't plan on it. So, my little brother is a fucking awesome person. And one time when he was 8 years old, he's 16 now, I told him this joke that goes, "Did you used to blow bubbles as a kid?" "Well, I heard he's back in town." So I told him that at 8 years old, and he gets this evil smile on his face, and immediately he walks out to my grandma, who is sitting on the computer, and he walks up to her, and in the most innocent tone that I've ever heard him use, he said, "Grandma, did you used to blow bubbles as a kid?" And my sister was sitting at the dining room table and chimed in, "Everybody has." And that's when his smile got even bigger. It was like when the Grinch got that big smile on his face. And he was like, "Well, I heard he's back in town," and ran into his room. I don't think I've ever seen my grandma so mad, but I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. And what's even better is it never got back to me. I told him that joke, he told them that joke, and he's the one that got in trouble for it. He tried to tell them that I told him that joke, but I just denied it till the end. My older brother got in trouble for it because he told me that joke, so they already knew he knew it. So my older brother got the blunt end of that. So how many of you use Google on a regular basis? I really fucking love Google. You can find out anything on Google nowadays. I was making coffee the other night, and yes, I mean the other night, and I wanted to know what would happen if you smoked coffee. I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to be that guinea pig, but I knew somebody had to have tried it. So I looked it up on Google, and apparently it was such a big epidemic that Vice News actually made a documentary article about it. And apparently you get really sick for about an hour, and you have an energy boost for I think the rest of the day. So if you really want to get out of work, just smoke some coffee and suck it up for an hour. Call your boss. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight, but you guys have been great.
Justin George and his sweaty ass palms.